industry's finest. Artists, people in the industry. You want to learn how to break into the industry on different platforms the right way. This is the guy to talk to. About to link into him right now.
What's going on, everybody?
My brother, what's going on, brother?
Oh, man, slow motion. What's the good word, big bro?
Man, nothing much, man. Good to see you. Glad to see you in great, good physical health, corona-free.
Man, corona-free, man. I just smoke a lot of gas, so I got a dumb smoker's cough. But aside from that, my brother, I'm Gucci Poo, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rap Juggernaut, could you please let the people know a little bit about yourself and who you are?
My name is Kingpin, Rap Juggernaut. I am a core DJ, co-running DJ, member of Team Bigger Rankin, founder of the Promo Vatican, member of blah, 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 blah. I try to make it happen, man, you know. Titles and shit, that shit look good on the racing car when it's going around the motherfucking track, but at the end of the day, none of that shit matters unless you race a trophy, you know what I'm saying? So I'm blessed and I'm honored and I'm humbled to be a part of several prestigious organizations and DJ families and coalitions. Me and my business partners have tried to start our own game-changing organizations, if you will. So just trying to make it happen, man. If I had to claim my affiliations, man, it's definitely core DJs, definitely cool running DJs, coast to coast DJs, Team Bigger Rankin, Art Rev Soul, Promo Vatican, the squad.
It's lit, man. The list definitely goes on. Your credentials are substantially long. You've been in the game for a number of years. Me personally, I would call you an industry influencer.
Okay.
You put multiple people on different platforms, changing people's lives, new experiences, putting people in new situations. For somebody who does what you do, because I want to kind of get to the nitty gritty and kind of explain how somebody that wants to do something that you do will break into the industry.
Well, I started doing marketing and promotions, and you know, shout out to Mercedes Street, shout out to Lex Promotions, shout out to Barry B, shout out to Fat Boy Zoe, you know, Too Official, Always Showbiz. You know, those are the people that kind of, in one way, shape, or form, those were I wouldn't want to say that my competition, because those were like my mentors, if you will. Those are the people that helped me and along the way, and those are the people that I saw what they were doing, and I wanted to do a variation of that. And, you know, of course, we all take influence from everyone, and especially from the people we see around every day. So, you know, coming up in the Florida market, Mercedes Streets, Lex were some of the people that were at the very tip of the marketing and promotion sphere. I loved what they had going on. So I took a little bit from some of my peers, and I kind of added this this undying relentlessness, if you will, to be the best. Like I'm not faster than anybody else. I'm not smarter than anybody else. I'm not, you know, I'm fat, I'm old, I got this crazy ass beard, I talk shit. So my disadvantages are longer than my advantages, if you will. So I have to be able to outwork people, and that's where I take pride in, is showing up. So if I had to give somebody some advice, you know, at the end of the day, if you think that you're going to be great by being mediocre, then you're in for a rude awakening. You know, greatness requires the ultimate sacrifice. You know, I say this all the time. In order to have what you truly want, you have to sacrifice everything, and only then will the game give you what you want.
Facts, man. Like I said, man, I definitely appreciate you tuning in, man, to drop these gems with us in today.
I fuck with y'all. I've been around for a minute, support me and my team, what we got going on, man. So I'm definitely excited and thankful for this opportunity to be able to talk with you and your followers and try to give some people some game, man. So what you got for me, my brother?
I want to ask you, man, what would you say is the number one key in success in your business?
Information. Information is the number one key in success in any business, especially in the music business. And the reason for that is because information will afford you the opportunity to make a calculated risk versus a blind gamble. And I think independent artists, and I think CEOs of independent labels, I think music directors, I think editors, I think owners of publications, whether they're print or digital, I think all of those guys can all testify to the one fact that without information, we're lost. Who's tuning in? What time are they tuning in? What do they like? What do they not like? What do they share? And, you know, with musicians, the information runs so much deeper. You have so many artists that will record a song and they think that's it, and they load it up on iTunes and they get it out and go, but they forget to enter the song credits. They forget to transcribe the lyrics. They forget to enter a genre. And all those are things that will ultimately prevent your music from being heard or consumed by the masses because it is incomplete. The computers and the algorithms and the softwares and stuff aren't going to push things through that are incomplete. So, and I'm going to give you an example. If you service a record to a DJ and you don't give him the BPM, which is the beat per minute,
Right.
that doesn't allow the DJ to know what song to blend it with. Now, some of these DJs are going to use headphones, right? The real DJs do. Some of these DJs are new age DJs. They're not going to use headphones. They're going to allow virtual DJ and different software to select songs to go in a mix. Those songs are going to be selected by the songs that have the BPM provided. Aside from that, the beats per minute is very important because when you send a record to a DJ, radio detection is only going to detect at plus or minus 2 BPM. So in a state where, in Florida, where they speed everything up because everything is up tempo,
Right.
where a state like Texas, to where they like to slow things down. So if you don't give a DJ the correct BPM, number one, it makes it almost impossible for him to be able to determine what songs should come before and after this record that he's being asked to make a hit or introduce. And
Right.
number two, it allows you to understand what kind of format you're working with. You can't give a record to 100 strip club DJs and ask them their opinion on a radio record. So those are things that you have to take into consideration as well. Everybody's opinion is going to be different based on their level of expertise or based on their field. But unanimously, information is going to be the one thing that's going to help you stand apart from everybody else. Is taking the time to pay attention to detail.
Facts. Being also, like I said, in the genre that you're in, but you also have to know your audience and how to market yourself and get to and networking people that you need to know. What are your 3 favorite tools for doing something your audience cares about?
You have to be one of the people and you have to communicate with people. You have to find your target audience. And you have to be able to skin back the layers, if you will, and just expose yourself and see what it is that they like. At the end of the day, artists have to provide entertainment. Artists don't have to be the entertainment, okay? That's where you start becoming a clown and doing all the clout shit and doing all that other stuff because you can't provide entertainment. You are now the entertainment that has to be provided. So I guess being able to number one, gather the information, right? So a lot of times you have a lot of artists that will release music on Spotify, or will release music on iTunes, or release music on some of these platforms, and they can't access that information. Not being able to access that information behind kind of hinders you because you don't know who's listening. If you don't know who's listening, then you don't know who to go test. Google is going to be your best friend as an independent artist. Because no military secret.
I tell them all day, every day.
If you ever, the old adage was, if you ever want to keep a secret, put it in a book, right? Because nobody wants to read.
Right.
But people like Wendy Day, who's my mentor, have done an amazing job of documenting their musical journey over the last 20 years, 30 years. And these are people that have taken their failures and have put them on a platform for all to see, and have taken their victories and have dissected them and explained to you how they've achieved those goals. So I think if anybody right now in this day and age in 2020, right now today, doesn't know what to do, then they're just lazy. And there's no cure for
that. No. I definitely can agree with that because like I guess it's just like I said, man. I would say I look up to you. I appreciate you because different than you, bigger ranking, TJs, DJs, and I go down a list that have carved a path for me to come in the game and do what I do and also learn from you all. I've had multiple clients that I've legitimately had to fire my own self, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's to a point it's ridiculous because I feel like even as an artist, even somebody that's has as you say, a career or something you've been doing for a long time, and you come to somebody and say, when somebody asks you how long you've been doing music, oh no, I've been doing music 15 years. But if something that you've been doing, you have not been studying for 15 years, what are you doing?
Right. How long can you be a new artist? We joke around all the time, right? I'd have had guys on new artist showcases for 5 and 6 years. Like, damn, bro, at some point in time, you got to be an old artist and just can't get it together. And unfortunately, believe it or not, most major artists don't have it together as well. So this is not an
Right.
epidemic that is just strictly to independence or to ignorance. It's also affecting people that are complacent.
Right.
They taste some success, so they think they have it all together, and they fail to audit themselves. And that's going to be one of the key things that's going to help people continue to grow, especially now in a day and age where things are going to be different. You know, I take pride in the street team aspect of the music industry, right? Of being able to get out and touch the people. In 2020, moving forward, you're not going to be able to do that anymore. You're not going to be able to walk up to a random person and give them a CD. You're not going to be able to walk up to a random person and give them something. You're just not going to be able to do it anymore. So we have to figure out different ways to be creative with how we deliver our product to the people. Because at the end of the day, we're customers. So when was the last time you went to the strip club and was getting a lap dance in the midst of hitting the chicken wing and the vodka and heard a song and had to wipe your hand on your shirt to pull your phone out and Shazam it? That's never happened. When was the last time you were at the club and they brought out 30 bottles and they played some shit?
Oh, well, I can tell you when it did happen. When the Meek Mill anthem came out.
You knew it was a hit the minute you heard it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if music doesn't have that effect on people, then at the end of the day, those are some of the things that as artists we need to research. You know, everybody's music, your music may not be for everybody, but the only way to find out who your music is for is to release it on a consistent level. So that's one of the things that we do at Art Rev Soul, which is the company that me and my business partners, we co-founded.
Right.
And there's really no service that's provided to benefit the artists. All the services are made to provide the service. The artists have to be able to benefit from it when they get into the system. So one of the things that we do is we try to provide artists with that information from the giddy up. So if anybody's tuning in, anybody tuning into your live, or anybody's tuning into what I got going on, they always know I'm tagging Art Rev Soul and everything. artrevsoul.com/inquire, INQUIRE. They go to that website link right there. There's going to be a link. All they got to do is answer a couple questions. And when they send us that email through the website, then the team gets that information and we perform what's called an audit. And we go through and we research websites, we research platforms, we research record pools, we research the DSPs, we research the fan building sites. Because at the end of the day, it's all about being able to yield results. And if you can't yield results when you're releasing music, let me rewind this. The reason most artists will fail with releasing music is not because their music is trash. It's because they're not reaching enough people, right? So you could take somebody like Tekashi 6ix9ine, and I use this example a lot. Tekashi 6ix9ine, who nobody wanted to play his music. Not one blog said they supported him. They all hated him. They all said he was going to fall off. It was a gimmick. He was this, that, and the third. But he had built a fan base to where he was able to drop 10 #1 records in a calendar year. He did that because when his music dropped, it was able to reach people. So
let me ask you this. I'm going to cut you off. But do you think also by him able to do that, 6ix9ine was also able to engage people in the audience that helped utilize and sell his music?
At the end of the day, it's all about engagement. Social media, the whole point of Instagram is not to post fight videos. It's not to brainwash you. It's not to post an agenda. The whole point of Instagram is to keep you on Instagram. The whole point of Facebook is to keep you on Facebook. The whole point of Twitter is to keep you on Twitter. So if every time you get on, everybody's individualized mobile and social experience is personalized to you, your traits, your habits, and the things that you do and you search for and you use every day, right? So if every time you log on Instagram, you scroll down your timeline, and the only time you happen to stay on a particular post is when you see fighting and outrageous and ignorant shit and death, and you happen to swipe the carousel when somebody's giving you conspiracy theories and all that shit, guess what Instagram is going to keep putting on your timeline?
That's right.
You stay there and read and engage with. So, yeah, you have to be able to engage your fans. And again, you have to find out how to provide entertainment for your fans. Be engaging. And Wallow and Gilly the Kid had posted this the other day. It was something so amazing, right? Where Wallow was like, you can't make no money off of being tough, and you can't make no money off of being cool.
Oh, yeah. I reposted it myself.
That's the easiest way to put it, man, is you can't, most people, they forget that the entertainment industry is a popularity contest. And you can't have been antisocial your whole life, and then when you turn 28, decide you want to be popular.
Nah.
It
Don't
was
worry
my
like
whole
that.
life. It was fuck everybody and oh fuck all this and man I'm cool. I don't do all that shit. I'm not friendly. But now that you're 28 years old, it's oh man, y'all ain't fuck with me. Y'all don't fuck with the real, and that couldn't be farther from the truth, man. That's not how this game works, you know.
Yeah, man, it's all about relationships. And one thing I learned, because I'm from Atlanta, um, and I started in 2010, and things even when I started, it moved so much faster for me based upon my relationships and my establishments, but also of course my work ethic. But once I learned that even celebrity entities in the industry, it was more so, of course, one hand wash the other, but people value things that you can do for them that does not produce money. Even though it might not produce money, it's something that might open up an avenue for money. So I'm like,
Let
okay,
me tell you
I'm
something.
seeing.
If I know if the Hype magazine drops a cover and it has an artist on it and it comes across my timeline, it's in my best interest to push that magazine cover and to retweet it and share it. And at the end of the day, that's what people fail to realize. Whenever somebody walks up to me and they have an artist with them, I immediately confirm to that person, you're in good hands because I fuck with this individual, number one. Number two, you are now my artist. What do we got to do to help your career get to the next level? Because there are plenty of
Right.
times that I have to work a move for artists that I have no budget for. And that's where relationships, that's where experience, and that's where resources come into play. And a lot of
Right.
people, they tend to overlook some of those things. They tend to overlook the fact that there's strength in numbers. So I try to align myself with people that are stronger at areas that I'm weak in, and I provide them strength in areas that they're weak in. And we're able to coexist. And at the end of the day, ultimately, all get to the bag because that's what it's about. I've never had to unscrew somebody else's light bulb for my bulb to shine brighter. I've just showed up and outworked everybody. And that's been my claim to fame. That's how I met TJ's DJs. I didn't meet TJ's DJs spending money with him. I didn't meet TJ's DJs spamming him or hitting him on Twitter or email blasting him every day. I showed up every 3 months to Tallahassee when he had the TJ's DJs conference. And I showed up the day before so that at 12 noon when they opened the doors to the venue and the guy was in there stocking the ice machine, I was in there putting up posters. And I would walk up to him and tell him, hey, who paid you to have posters put up in here? Let me put them up for you. And he was looking at me like, why the fuck do you want to work for free? I'm just making sure that I can put up my posters in the best place possible as long as I put up your posters too. Right. So I was doing everything I possibly could to build those relationships at the beginning. And I nurtured those relationships. And I would drive from state to state and put out flyers and posters because I had artists like Chill the $1 Million Man that was able to support me. And they gave me a job. So I was able to take the fact that I already had what I needed. So shit, I already got a street team. We ain't got none but 1,000 CDs. What we gonna do? Just sit out here and twiddle our thumbs? Fuck that. What you got, bro? That's how I locked in with Grand Hustle and Clay. When I came up here to Atlanta, my very first time coming up to Atlanta was the T.I. versus TIP album. And we went into it was a music conference. I forget what DJ Coalition was. And we showed up. And 2 hours early, we gift wrapped that bitch. And Grand Hustle was the main sponsor. And they were not fucking pleased at all. Tear this shit the fuck down, blase, squaze. I said, cool, check this out. Give me all your posters. I got it. They left, came back an hour later. Half our shit was down. All they shit was up. They showed up to the hotel the next day with 2 SUVs, a rap band with like 5,000 posters. Here you go. Take this back to Florida with you. So that's how it works. You know, you got to show up and you have to be willing to outdo everything and everybody around you. There can be no competitor. Everybody is not my competition. I'm in a league of my own. And I say that with all the humbleness and humility in the world. My goal in the music business is to become the prescription. I don't want to become a suggestion. I want to be who you have to see to get better. And I think we've done an admirable job of that so far. Thanks to people like Bigger Rankin, thanks to Tony Neal, thanks to Vertigo, thanks to DJ High C, thanks to people like El Nice, thanks to people like B Shining Out on the West Coast, thanks to people like DJ Meat Dot in Miami, thanks to people like, what's my boy name in Lake Charles, OG? Eric T. Man, thanks to people like Devin Steele in Memphis, man. Thanks to people like Big B out in Wilmington. Those are all people that fall in under my circle, under my umbrella, people that I came up under the game in. And I was able to come up under them working. I didn't come up begging. I didn't come up asking. I came up earning. I've earned everything I've got in this business. And I think that's what most people fail to align in their list of actions that have to be taken. They earn their place in this industry. You can't pay for it. You can't be born into it. It can't be given to you. It has to be earned.
Yes, sir. Now, Juggernaut, you being in the industry, of course, has been ups and downs. I want to talk about your success story. What has been one of the biggest success stories since you've been in the industry, and why do you think it was a success?
My biggest success story to date is the same one every month, is being able to provide for my family and for my team to be able to provide for themselves. That, without a doubt, is my number one success story. I try not to, the list of accolades and what we've won will never surpass the list of losses and L's I've had to take in this business. I've sacrificed so much. I've lost relationships. I've first steps of kids, first words, recitals. There are things that nothing I ever win or accomplish, no plaque, no amount of records, no amount of money can ever replace. But in order for me to remain as hungry as I am today, I think about it. I got to adapt that quarterback mentality to where we throw a touchdown, fuck it, it's over. We threw that. Now what?
Right.
So, the Cool America campaign was great for us. The Bigger Ranking campaign is great for us. Lucci's campaign is great for us. Dolph campaign has been great for us. Jeezy campaign has been great for us. Ply's campaign has been great for us. Shit, we talk about it all the time. What's the one, the Swag Surfing record? There's been a lot of records, man. A lot of artists that we've touched and helped get their music out to the masses, have touched the people. There's been no one greater than the other, because at the end of the day, the number one goal for the artist was to gain exposure. They got that. The number one goal for me was to be able to provide for my family and my team, and we did that. So every time I'm able to secure a new client and produce results for them, that's a success story, my brother. And I say that with all the respect in the world. I know, everybody wants to hear, oh, I love this one more than the other. I love being able to wake up in the morning and have power and Wi-Fi and cell phone service and being able to fire up some good gas if I want to, and being able to make sure that my team can do the same thing. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about, man. I'm about being happy where I'm at in life more so than being rich. As long as I have the people around me, I'm the wealthiest motherfucker alive. On God.
Let me ask you this: with all the knowledge that you have now, what would you do differently? Excuse me. What would you do differently if you were starting in the industry now?
It took me almost 15 years in this business to understand that this business is based on the fans first and foremost. And so much so I was trying to figure out a clever way to provide a new service. And it was always sleek and cutting edge and fast and shiny, but it was never geared towards the fans. And when social media came out, I was always understood, document what you got going on. And it's really about giving the fans what they like. So I think if there's one thing I've picked up over all the years of taking all the L's or all the W's, it's putting the fans first. An independent rapper right now that may be the hottest thing smoking can put out an album the same day as Bad Baby, and Bad Baby will reach 1 million more people. It's not because she out-rapped him. It's because she out-fanned him. And I think these artists need to wake up every day and they need to build a fan base. How many people set some goals? How many streams a day do you want to get on Spotify? Okay. How many of those people, how many people have you reached out to and sent them your Spotify link? Not spam them, but hey, what you got going on? How you doing? I'm so-and-so. What's up? Engaged. Michael Jordan, what is it, 1,000 shots a day to become the greatest basketball player in the world. So if you want 1,000 streams a week, bitch, then you got to be out there every motherfucking day. And you got to get 200 people a day to check you out. You got to solicit. It's work, man. You ever want to scare somebody to death, bro? Knock on their fucking door dressed in overalls and work boots and shit, dressed like a job. You'll scare people half to fucking death. Nobody wants to work. They want to give it to them. Everybody wants to be a customer.
A handout all day, every day. What does a typical day look like in a week for you?
I'm normally up around 5:30. In the email. Shit. By noon, then it's time to get back and review all the websites. Phone calls, scheduling. We try to have our day scheduled by noon for most days, because after noon is when people start waking up and record labels start sending out the last minute blast and the last minute services. So we try to schedule our business handlings by noon, so that afternoon it's all maintenance and cleanup. Then around 5 or 6, we normally get ready for our conference calls. We usually have conference calls with clients, with labels, internally with staff, graphic designers. Those go on 7 days a week. On Sunday, we're going to wake up. Once I get off this call with you guys, I got to hop on a call with one of our priority artists to talk about their campaign coming up for next week. You know, there is no wake up and meditate and do all of that. I wish I could, bro. I wish I could get up and go to the gym every day. I wake up every day, and the first thing I do is hit the ground and jump on the computer. And I got to check websites, and I got to check platforms, and I got to check did songs load, and did songs hit charts, and, you know, who got caught arrested, who got caught, you know, selling dope, or who got caught with a tranny, or who got caught doing this, or, you know, all of that shit matters when we service music. You know what I'm saying? And all
Right.
those things are very important for us and what we do for our artists. Being able to scour social platforms, finding content for them to post every day, being able to come up with clever new ideas to engage our potential clients' fan base. Because you could have a client with 5 different artists. All 5 artists are different. So that's 6 pieces of content, the labels plus those 5 artists. You know, reminding our team to adhere to the 80-20 rule when it comes to social media. You know, 8 posts for every 2 advertisements. You know what I mean? If your shit is just strictly advertisement, what happens when you're watching TV and the commercial comes on? You change the station. What happens listening to radio and the commercial comes on? You change the station.
You
So
lose
what
interest.
happens when you're on social media and a motherfucker ain't doing nothing but advertising? You're not going to start liking them pictures. And the more you scroll by them and don't like them, the less Instagram is going to show them to you.
Right.
Then it goes from question of, damn, people don't want to support me to, damn, people want to hate on me. No, motherfucker, you just always advertising. Who are you as an artist? Show me some shit that you got going on. Don't brag on me all the time. I don't care about the fucking Balenciagas and all the extra goofy shit and all the hoes and all the money. That shit's not cool. That should make you look like a fucking steak, especially right now when motherfuckers ain't got it. All that fucking floss and this shit is not socially acceptable no more. Cut all that shit out, bro. Show me what it is that you're doing to pass the quarantine. Show me what it is that you cooking. What are your quarantine snacks? Fuck with me, bro. What's your favorite album? What are you listening to on quarantine? What games are you on? You got a gamer tag? What platform are you on? All that matters.
That's what I say, man. Actually, it's extremely sad because just as, you know, we both deal with you probably done trimmed down and probably I don't know if you can deal with as much independent artists as me. Personally, I know you have probably more so a higher volume in the past, probably. I'm still do a lot of clubs. I see a lot of them, man. They're not doing nothing.
Well, you know, we still do the bigger regular street greets. You know, we're averaging 10 days a month with that before the pandemic, and we were averaging about 20 artists a day. The DM is still on our board of directors. He does coast to coast, so he does anywhere between 25 and 40 independent artists a day, 20 days a month. ArtRedSoul.com is based solely for independents. You know, with Bigger ranking, even with Bigger, even though he's an A&R at the major label, and he does what he does for Lucci, and he does what he does for the major artists, our livelihood is based on the independent artists, is helping these artists establish themselves, helping them establish their careers, helping them establish their business, helping them establish their footprint in this industry. And then once they get established and they're cemented, off to grades you go, on to the next. You know, and at the end of the day, me and Big always have the same mentality. Bigger taught me this, and this is something I'm going to take to the grave, that in this business, I'll never become a king until I crown one. So the only reason that I'm on this interview with you now, and the only reason anybody wants to hear what I got to say or what I got to say matters, is because I put winners in the winner's circle, is because I've helped records become hot, because I've taken artists that nobody's known and have put them on a platform to where they're now world known, right? So I've been able to do that in conjunction with a lot of moving parts. It's not just Kingpin. It's Kingpin's relationships that have been stacking, if you will, for 15, 20 years. Some of these guys, and I remember showing up when we did 2 Chainz in Florida when he was Titty Boy. Before he was 2 Chainz, right? This is when he had the Cody and Cowboy mixtape. And we went through Florida. This is right before the Def Jam the deal. And we was in Jacksonville. He performed in the VIP section for the staff at the club. There was nobody there. It was just 2 months later, we came back through and we did 3 shows in Jacksonville on one day, capacity each show. So, you know, when you have those type of relationships with people, when you're there with them, when they're suffering, they're losing, and you're still pushing, when it's time to reap the rewards, your name's going to get called in, and you're going to get honored, and you're going to get celebrated. And all that shit means nothing if you can't provide for you and yours every day.
Yeah, my bad, Keith. Let me, I guess, kind of explain what I was saying. When I was saying the artists are not doing anything, because as far as me putting them on shows and doing different things. Because you see, nobody really can do anything right now. So it's a more high volume of people on social media. And when you see the content that they're projecting on social media, it's nothing revolving around music. And I also feel like time is something that you never get back. Especially now it's downtime where you can utilize all these social media platforms to really engage your fans, produce great content, clean up your social media pages, learn different ways to market yourself. Nobody's doing anything. And yes, we are in a global pandemic.
Right.
A lot of people now seeing that they should have, saved their money a little better, through certain situations. But hey, that's neither here nor there. But I feel like this could be a best time for artists because now you can build legitimate fans, which you never had.
Absolutely.
A lot of artists just posting on social media and posting on Instagram, but not really engaging anybody, just hoping somebody catches it.
Look, let me piggyback on what you said here. Let me just chime in right fast. I'm going to give you a page from Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle, one of the greatest, and I'm going to subquote him. I don't know word for word, but he mentioned surviving and success. And right now, more so than ever, people are focused on surviving. When you're focused on surviving, you can't focus on success. That's why they say the hardest part is getting to the first million. Once you get to the first million, the rest is all easy peasy, right? I think people not being able to prioritize. I think people not being able to organize. I think it looks so much to do, they don't know where to start. And they feel that if they don't see immediate results from the beginning, it's a waste of time. I think some of the things that artists are doing is trying to find a new creative way to reach a fan base because they see some of their favorite artists doing it, because they see people go from Instagram celebrities to now becoming rappers and singers. And we all know what it takes to be successful in this business, and attention is the #1 disease amongst all artists. They want attention.
Right.
There are very few artists that create for the sake of creating, and those are the ones that do. They go on to create masterpieces. The ones that create for attention, those are the ones that are here for a spell. So they come and they go. So yes, absolutely right. People are not utilizing their time as effective as they should be. They're not networking with people like the Hype magazine. They're not networking with people like Vertical. They're not networking with the Schweinbecks of the world. They're not working with, and that's to their detriment. And at the end of the day, the ones that do, those are the ones that we do this for. Those are the ones that we get on live and share this information for. Because I think we have 361 listeners. There may be 3 of them that are going to take some of the things that we're talked about and are building for the future. And those are the ones that we're doing this for. Because ultimately, those are going to be the ones that understand that you don't have to have all of the money. You just have to have some of the money. Because you have all of the time to organize and orchestrate what it is that you want to accomplish. So I think one of the things that we have to do, especially individuals like yourself, myself, Bigger Rankin, OG Tony, I Am the Connect, the Big DM, Tony Neal, people that are in a position to educate, I think now more so than ever, we're required to give out the game. So when you see a DJ like DJ Chuck T go on his Instagram and start breaking down the numbers behind music, you'd be a fool not to pay attention. Even if you want to disagree with him, understand his perspective, learn where he's coming from, understand this is a person that's been in the business 20 plus years. So there's no reason why when his live doesn't turn on, it's not full with 10,000 people, because he's been able to survive and flourish. He went from survival to success. And I think right now, while people are worrying about surviving, you're right. They should be planning for success. However, most people don't have the bare necessities to worry about being successful as a musician. I guarantee you, if 50 artists go to artredsoul.com/inquire today and request a free audit, 50 out of 50, we're going to get back a negative email telling them something is wrong, because the minor things that they're not putting in place to benefit have not put in place. I guarantee you, 40 out of 50 are going to have no bio on their Spotify. 50 out of 50 are going to have no picture on their Spotify. 50 out of 50 are going to have no Pandora. 50 out of 50 are going to have no Audio Mac. 50 out of 50 wouldn't have posted on SoundCloud but 6 months ago. 50 out of 50 aren't going to have a bio on YouTube. 50 out of 50 aren't going to have a header or a graphic image to mirror all of their social platforms. I don't use Twitter. Fuck that. I ain't been on Twitter. Hey, bro. I can't tell you what it is you're doing wrong if you think what you're doing is right. All I can do is give you the information and let you process it, because communication is not the problem. Communication is not the key. Comprehension is the key. Understanding what somebody is telling you can be a problem. More
but
they're giving.
to me, only reason that somebody can be frustrated or have a lack of understanding is when you don't study. So when somebody's telling you something you don't comprehend and you take offense and be like, no, I don't want to do that. That's hindering your ability to learn something new. And I feel like a lot of artists do that all day, every day. Especially people like you, like a bigger ranking, as we just said. It's like you have all these people that have been in the industry, and I feel like this is definitely something in life. And as far as a team aspect, you can't be the smartest motherfucker on your team.
Amen. And if you are,
you have to hire motherfuckers smarter than you.
Yeah, if you are,
you feel what I'm saying? So that's the only way you're gonna learn to also elevate. Because if you think you know everything, it's like you're gonna be combative and you're not teachable. Nobody can tell you nothing.
I was having this conversation with an artist the other day, Gayton. Shout out to one Gayton, came through the dungeon, sat down here with us, and we had met 5 years ago. We were talking. I was like, man, OG, why you ain't give me the game 5 years ago? I didn't know it 5 years ago. Some of the game I'm giving you today, I didn't know yesterday. Some of the game that I'm giving y'all today is gonna be outdated tomorrow, and somebody's gonna have to want to interview me or go figure it out for themselves. And that's the thing with this business. It's evolving. It's constantly changing. It's constantly growing. It's constantly consuming everything around it. If you don't know what the brand affinity is for your listeners, then how do you know what to make music for? How do you know how to dress in certain pictures? How do you know what to give them what they want? Do you want to be rich? Do you just want to do this shit for the sake of doing it? Do you want to be successful? Is this a business to you? Is this a fucking hobby? Go collect stamps, chase butterflies, read up on minerals, bro. You'd be surprised at the kind of rocks that you can find in your backyard. You may have some shit back there worth some money to somebody, because that shit that y'all trying to pull, that shit ain't worth nobody to nobody, man. Trying to pay to get your way into the club first. Okay, now what? You ain't got no money for no section. You ain't got no money for no drinks. You ain't bring no weed, which you just wanted to pay to get in the club first because you didn't want to stand in the line. Now you're in the club first. Now what the fuck are you going to do?
You can't do nothing.
Shit, stand around, wait for this bitch to get thick.
That's it.
Get in, then try to get in where you fit in. You a follower. Don't
follow
and always blaze.
You can't go chop it up with the DJ, because the DJ gonna look at you like you're crazy. Because one thing too, the artists don't understand. Even at these clubs that they go to with these DJs are at work. They're working.
Man, try to go.
You're coming in the booth.
Gold room and try to climb your ass to the DJ booth and watch how the security go put you on your neck. Try to walk inside.
It's not gonna happen.
Mansion.
It's not gonna happen. Compound. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's why I tell artists, it's like you got to understand levels. And of course, my city. I've been in Florida probably about 3.5 years now. And I've been saying it like since I've been out here, bro. It's like no Atlanta music is out here. Of course they play Atlanta music.
Of course.
But they only play Atlanta music when it's only at a particular level, and that's pretty much almost your extremely high B-list or A-list artist. So that pretty much tells me that the low B and low C artists don't want to move unless they're getting paid, but they're not marketing themselves 9 hours and 30 minutes down the street.
Well, that's because a lot of these guys feel that they have Instagram or they have social media, and they don't need that information. I just had a label just recently. We were going over some numbers with them, and they had went on a promo run, and the promo run had yielded them almost 5,000 Instagram followers for their artists, and only turned over 300 Spotify listeners, and it should be backwards. And because Spotify listeners are going to pay us, Instagram don't send out no checks for followers.
Right.
Instagram ain't going to tell you, hey, bro, your post had this much engagement this week. Here, go ahead, check. No. That your money come from streams. And I think when artists start to focus on what matters to them and understand that if your music is on Spotify and you're able to market to people and you're able to log into your Spotify, into the back door of your Spotify as an artist, and you're able to see your analytics, you're able to see what markets your music is doing better in. And if you have any blips in Florida, then take your ass down to Florida. But most of these guys don't want to reach out to DJs like DJ Meat. They don't want to reach out to DJs like DJ DA or DJ Win or DJ Shizm or DJ C Nasty or DJ Loose Kid or DJ DJ Kool-Aid or PLO. They don't want to reach out to these guys because they have a sense of where they don't need anybody to do it. And it's a false sense of hope.
Right.
I'm a DJ advocate before I'm anything else. Without the DJ, you have nothing.
Right. Juggernaut, man, I really appreciate you tuning in with us today, man. I got 2 more questions before we get us out of here. Now, for any independent artist listening or somebody that possibly already been in the industry but wants to get at a higher level, Rap Juggernaut, in your opinion, what is the 5 basic things an artist needs in this industry to survive and have longevity?
Infrastructure, organization, team, scheduling, budget.
I like that. Can you say it one more time for me?
Infrastructure, scheduling, team, budget, and what was the other one? Infrastructure, team, scheduling, budget. Infrastructure, team, scheduling, budget, and fuck, the other one eluded me. But I think that those are probably the infrastructure.
Right.
Definitely, you need to have infrastructure around you so that you can have your basis. When I say infrastructure, I mean all of your platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, Deezer, Tidal, TikTok, Triller. Your infrastructure, places where people can go look for you at. You need scheduling because you'll need to know when to release your music, when to be able to put it out. You're definitely going to need a budget because you're going to need to have some money for that.
Right.
You may not have all the money in the world at one time, but if you do put a calendar together, and this is where scheduling comes into place, you'll know when you'll need to have your money by. You'll know when to have your resources aligned. So if you can't rely on a whole bunch of money and you have to make things happen, then you have time to plan that and to orchestrate that and pull that move off.
Can I add some things to that list?
Yeah, come on with it.
I wanna say stick to itiveness and work ethic, and able to listen. Because you can have all these tools, but you don't listen. All this is null and void because nobody can work with you. And I'm only 35 years old, so I know the OGs, 50, kind of close to 60. They're not going to deal with the bullshit with you going back and forth with them. That's what they're not understanding.
Humility. I think humility is the one word that'll surmise all of that. All of those
Right,
qualities.
right.
Humble.
Most definitely.
Artists
Most
need to
definitely.
be humble. So yes, humble, have a budget, have a team, have infrastructure, and have organization. I
Right.
think if you have those characteristics, absolutely, you'll be able to go to the next level. artrevsoul.com/inquire. artrevsoul.com/inquire. If the artists hit me there, I guarantee you I'll be able to give them 80% of what they're missing in their lives right now for free. For Frisco. It's a pandemic, baby. We're doing it to help the world.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Last question. What keeps you going when things get tough in this business?
I've never, my mother died before I was ever able to accomplish anything in life. My father's 80 years old, and I still haven't feel that I've accomplished anything. Nothing that he has ever called me and told me he's been proud of. Right? I refuse to be that for my kids. So if nothing more, I refuse to be a failure to my children. I'm an ex-con, bro. I done been to the penitentiary. I've been shot, stabbed, all that goofy shit. None of that shit means nothing. None of those stripes that I earned in the street meant anything in the music business. What matters most in this music business to me is being able to provide for my family, period. If I'm able to put a winner on the field, I want to consistently put winners on the field. We take pride in waking up before everybody else. We take pride in going to bed after everybody's asleep. And we're working even when we're not working.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I appreciate you, my brother. And y'all go follow my brother, Rap Juggernaut, at RapJuggernaut.
We don't go around, go through it, goddammit. Follow your boy, man. Pound Promo Vatican at the Promo Vatican, artrevsoul.com/inquire. Core DJs worldwide, cool running DJs, team bigger ranking, coast to coast DJs. All that shit, man. I fuck with all my families out there, man. I appreciate you, my brother. Hype Magazine, I fuck with y'all the long way, man. Y'all already know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you.
1,000, big bro.
1,000. Hey, y'all. Thank you for y'all tuning in. Appreciate the gems. Rap Juggernaut. Always a blessing. Always a blessing. We'll be in the building.